tidak ada ego sektoral.
Tidak boleh ada ego sektoral, apalagi ego subsektoral, apalagi ego kementerian, apalagi ego pribadi.
Apakah mereka yang di reshuffle memiliki ego sektoral, makanya mereka ditukar?
Wah, that one I cannot comment. Namanya pejabat, tapi we are actually serving the nations, right? In order to serve the nations, one of the things that we are entrusted with is budget, right? When it comes to budget, no matter how big or small it is, every cent that we spend has to be accounted for. Every cent that we invest on behalf of the people, for me, I would want to see perputaran ekonomi berapa kali.
That's probably your most difficult job, though.
Exactly.
What's the end goal now for Ekraf?
For me, 5 years,
Yeah.
set a proper foundations in terms of regulations. Please pray for me, please pray for all of us. We are really, not only myself, but every single person in Ekraf, we are really pushing very hard, including in the cabinet, we're really pushing hard.
Yeah.
Karena banyak banget yang harus yang perintilannya harus benerin gitu
Yeah.
loh kan.
Ibu Erin, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me as well.
I believe bahwa I am talking to the most active Vice Ministress di Kabinet Merah Putih right now.
Aduh, nggak berani.
Saya nggak berani ngomong gitu, tapi kalau misalnya saya lihat dari bukti dari Instagram lah ya, Instagram atau media gitu, you can be here, you can be there, and you're always by the lift gitu, kayak in and out. Sudah berapa lama menjabat, Bu, berarti?
Per hari ini pas
Per hari ini?
Per hari ini ya, pas kita apa ya, 333 hari.
333 hari?
Triple three, magic number.
Just 30 days away from 1 year.
32 days.
32 days for 1 year.
Yes.
Life-changing?
A lot of learning experiences.
Yeah.
Life-changing for sure. Overnight life-changing, that's for sure. Because prior to this, I was a digital nomad.
Yeah.
Jadi kemana-mana seret koper kan.
Yeah.
Sekarang kan totally grounded nih. Dan a lot of learnings lah. I would say a lot of learning. So it's been a blessing, but at the same time, it's also a very steep learning curve.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's unique how you say overnight. Karena kalau kita lihat dari bahkan informasi seminggu terakhir gitu dengan reshuffle apa segala macam, menteri-menteri baru yang datang gitu, loh saya baru ditelepon semalam gitu, saya baru ditelepon H-1 gitu. And it's very similar across all ministers and ministres gitu, including yourself.
Enggak lah, enggak sehari sebelumnya lah, beberapa hari.
Beberapa hari lah ya. Tapi my question adalah dengan secepat itu gitu. You have to make the right decision, and you have to make a decision that's not impulsive dong. Pastinya you really thought through. And it's a ticking time bomb dong untuk kayak yes or no gitu. Kalau nggak harus dicari penggantinya. How did you learn to make the right decisions in life?
I think this is not the first decision making that's choked down my throat. So prior to this, there's been quite a lot of episodes like this in my life lah. Basically, it's a crossroad, dan we just have to decide at that split second. Gitu. And I think after a while, you get used to it somehow. And for me, I have the philosophy in my life is that when you think too much, it becomes nothing. It's like think, then it becomes nothing.
Yeah.
Because it's like over-analyzing, it paralyzes you, right?
Yeah.
So I believe in very much being guided by the universe. Whatever that's thrown to me, I'll just close my eyes, give me a red light or green light. If it's a green light, you better be responsible and guide me all the way. So that was what happened.
I've talked to a couple of people in the government gitu, dan jawabannya beberapa adalah ketika dipanggil oleh negara, it's difficult to say no. And I do understand the reason why you are willing to take it gitu. Tapi what was the consideration of not taking it?
If it's not economy creative, I wouldn't have taken it.
Okay.
Yeah, it was very clear. It was not economy creative, then I do not know anything about it. Kalau ekonomi kreatif, I've been working on this line and I fall in love with this line and the people in this line of business, despite of all the dramas, but I love the hearts and the passions for more than 10 years.
Yeah.
And I do want to put Indonesia on the map. It's the same agenda even before I joined politics, before I joined this cabinet, and it's the same. It's a different boat.
Yeah.
Jadi karena
Much bigger boat, I assume.
much bigger boat, much more challenging
Yeah.
waves. Dan pas waktu di offer ya, I said no, and I'm like, hang on, what ministry? Why me gitu loh? You know, I have no political background. I'm a nobody. Just nobody, right?
Yeah.
And when they said economy creative, then I asked, what do you want to do with economy creative? And what I really appreciate is the genuinity behind it. Di mana dikatakan bahwa ekonomi kreatif ini sesuatu yang baru di negara kita, and hence we need someone who really understand.
Yeah.
And hence we want you to lead this.
What a privilege untuk melakukan itu. Tapi kan at the same time you do know for a fact bahwa itu beban yang begitu besar gitu untuk di saat banyak sekali challenges yang dihadapi negara ini gitu. I'm assuming that creativity, the economics of creativity is not the main source of problem that you should fix, you know what I mean? Banyak sekali hal-hal, dan apakah dianggap kementerian ini sekunder gitu atau gimana?
Jadi ini kan dua layer question ya. The first question is on the decision making, despite of all the problems, why did I say yes, right?
Yeah.
Ini bagusnya ilmu kepepet gitu loh, karena waktunya nggak banyak. What I know, based on what I know is this country has a lot of great potentials. Orang-orang bukan potensi doang, ini udah di depan mata. I mean, we're looking at them right now.
Yeah.
They have it, you know. We have it as a nation. It just needs to be orchestrated. It just needs to be done together in a more systematic manner, right? And so, on that basis, it should be okay, right?
Yeah.
Jadi on that basis, then I said yes. And I asked myself, am I willing to give up 5 years of my life? Because I have to give up everything. Right? Am I willing to give up 5 years of my life to do this? And I'm like, I've never come to this. If I go to study, I will not have any hands-on experience in any university. Why don't I just enroll on this University of Life? Give up 5 years of my life, regardless of what happened. I know that I'll give my very best. But I know in the end of 5 years or earlier, I know I will be richer in terms of knowledge, in terms of experience as a person, and hopefully can contribute better.
Salah satu titipannya adalah to simplify.
Yeah.
Right? Pak Prabowo bilang permudahlah dan simplify everything gitu. What was the hiccup before was it not simple enough gitu? What was the trouble dulu?
I think you would know.
I want to hear it from you.
For me, the simplicity of it comes in every phase kan. Dan sekarang ini, if we talk about Indonesia ya, I personally benefit from it because one, ngerjain paspor sekarang udah nggak perlu pakai calo, bisa nge-booking sendiri. Kemudian yang recently, I'm not sure if anyone here knows that you can have cek kesehatan gratis hanya lewat aplikasi, right? There are a lot of things yang sudah ada kemudahannya, yang negara ini sudah lakukan untuk memudahkan. Namun ada banyak sekali juga yang segregated, di mana nanya si A beda, nanya si B beda. Nggak perlu jauh-jauh lah, on our daily life aja, right? Dan without that, then for me that's not simple. If it's simple, it's black and white. Dan saya rasa tidak perlu dielaborasikan juga. Ya ada banyak hal di 17 subsektor ini yang nggak straightforward. Padahal kalau kita mau straightforward menjadi roket yang terbang, nah ini tinggal di iron out satu-satu, ngomongnya gampang ya. Tapi ini kan banyak kementerian, ya kita juga experience ya. Pas waktu syuting atau apa, ada beberapa kementerian yang harus diselaraskan. Tapi kan you experience it as well. The intention is there.
Sorry to cut you, tapi I am a witness of how you helped us, Makna Talks, personally. I mean, a few weeks ago, this is not the first time we met, gitu, and it was quite a conversation, gitu, dan I had to look at my team saying, how did that happen so easily? You know what I mean? So my question is, before we go to the...
Tapi itu spiritnya Kabinet Merah Putih.
Okay.
That is the spirit.
Terhadap semua kementerian.
Terhadap semua kementerian. Itu pesannya ke semua kita semua. Dan
iya, ada satu yang Pak Prabowo bilang tidak ada ego sektoral.
Tidak boleh ada ego sektoral, apalagi ego subsektoral, apalagi ego kementerian, apalagi ego pribadi.
Apakah mereka yang di reshuffle memiliki ego sektoral, makanya mereka ditukar?
Wah, that one I cannot comment. That one I cannot. Because gini loh, regardless of apa yang, karena kan secara profesional, I don't know what they do within their own ministry unless I work together with them, right? Tapi we have bonded in Magelang.
Nah, this is my question.
We have become friends.
This is my question, and I have it here. Was Magelang necessary? Was Hambalang necessary?
Hambalang was before Magelang,
yes.
Right? The orientation day. For me, as someone who is a clean slate, like a new kid on the block, who do not know anyone, whose bahasa sometimes masih kejegal-jegal sana sini, apalagi kalau ya kesingkatan lah ya. It was very useful. Why? Hambalang itu adalah orientation day, di mana kita diberikan bekalan satu hari ya, itu orientasinya paginya itu ada dikasih tahu mengenai PR training, kemudian insights of the government, we look at Dubai on how they operate, and we look at different countries lah, in terms of how they operate from the inside, right? So that was very insightful for me, something that I've never seen before, and I like to learn, right?
Of course.
So for me it's good.
But you were standing way di samping.
Oh yes.
Any intention?
I'll tell you why. Second one, untuk Magelang. Magelang is the first time kan. Magelang for me is extremely important. Why? And I always cite this many times in every podcast. Itu kan awalnya itu kan, aduh, ini harus bangun pagi gitu loh. Terus militer ini kayak wamil kan. And I look at me. I may dress sporty, but I'm not, alright? Okay. And so di sana itu, I think semua menteri sama wakil menteri sama kepala badan itu menjadi satu gitu loh. Lewat komunikasi yang mungkin nggak penting ya. Dan saya sadar akan pentingnya itu baris berbaris karena ternyata hadap kanan hadap kiri itu at 5 o'clock in the morning, it's not that straightforward. At least for me and a few people, right? But through that bonds is created and the friendship is created. And hence it makes things easier. So what you as professional as it look, right? What you witnessed before, it's a result of a friendship because it's very easy for us to just talk to each other openly. So these two, for me, are extremely important. For me personally, new kid on the block who doesn't know anything. Now, to your question of why I was sitting on the very corner, because I know nobody.
Really?
I knew nobody. Jadi kenalannya itu cuma di sana. So imagine when I came, at all. And you can ask the others, right? Some of them thought I was a trainer because I was at the very back and I was just alone sitting over there like, what is this? What is that?
I'm assuming because you speak English, you look, this tiny woman, maybe she's gonna teach us.
And wearing a white sneaker, ya toh, itu udah dari dress code aja itu udah mismatch banget kan. Jadi ya, I was assuming, okay, in case ini nggak jadi, it will be nggak ngerepotin orang kalau tinggal di crop kan. That was my thought. Makanya ada gapnya sedikit. Because I thought ya udah I learn a lot di sini, tapi we never know what happened. Jadi kalau misalnya terjadi terlalu merepotkan dan nggak jadi, aku tinggal gampang aja di crop gitu loh. So that was my thought process at that time.
Well, here you are, 333 days.
Indeed.
Kalau I really want to ask you this, Bu, karena tadi you mentioned that you don't know anyone di Hambalang gitu. And it's quite unique karena kan kalau bicara soal kementerian atau menteri, wakil menteri gitu, banyak konotasinya adalah ya bagi-bagi kursi gitu. Dan how does it feel to not know anyone tapi ada di dalam konotasi tersebut?
How do I feel ya? That's a very good question actually. I've never actually thought about it on how I feel. But I think that makes me a neutral party that can go and talk to anyone, I suppose. Tapi at the same time, I heard about the bagi-bagi kursi. And that was one of the questions that I asked and one of the things that I mentioned that I will not join any political party.
Yeah.
Please, ini if you want me in, can. Tapi I will not join any political party. I'll come in as a neutral professional because I really want the industry to move forward.
Interesting.
I have no political agenda. Aku nggak butuh panggung. It's okay gitu. It's fine as long as things work. Kan? That's most important for me. So, and it was okay. And I asked, like, how did you know about my background? Apparently, there's a pretty good research about what I've done in the past, right? Things that sometimes I even forgot, gitu loh. So I was very impressed on the first day of that quote-unquote interview. And it is beyond my imagination that this country operate that way.
Quite surprised with it.
Huh?
Quite surprised.
Very surprised. Like, how did you find me? They found me through my dad.
I heard, yeah, and your dad called you a couple of times.
Yes, and
you
my
didn't
dad was
answer.
like, "What the hell is going on?" I said, "I don't know. You tell me. I don't know what's going on."
How did the family react to the information?
My mom obviously said like, "Oh my God, it's politics. You better don't go near there." And my dad also went like, "I agree with your mom, but you know what? You're old enough. I'll support whatever decision you make." And then I think the two of them talk, right?
Yeah.
And then my brother got into the picture. My brother went like, "Why the hell did he choose you?" I'm like, "Don't ask me that question. Help me to make the decision."
Yeah.
Right? In case this is really offered, because I thought it's an interview, right?
Yeah.
And I said, tell me your inputs, right? Tapi setelah meeting keluarga yang impromptu malam-malam itu, I'm very grateful lah. My family just came around and said, "You know what? Whatever you decide, we'll stand by you. It's okay, whatever it is."
Yeah.
And I also asked my co-founder, because I had my business as
course.
well, right? So I have to talk to my co-founders and some key investors. And
Yeah,
surprisingly,
obviously.
they all said,
This is good for the company.
no, they know my passion in
Got it.
creative economy. Because even the company is very impact driven. It's all about community in ASEAN. And so they said, well, and they know me that I'll be very clear cut. Gitu loh. I cannot do conflict of interest. So if I do this, then you would have to take over as the CEO, yeah. And in decision making where there is any potential conflicts, I will not be involved at all. We are very clear cut on that. They have to make a decision within 24 hours, dan karena semuanya kepepet, ya kita decide, okay, whatever you decide, I will support and we'll make sure that everything will go. Tapi di sana itu posisinya semuanya, karena I talk to them again kan. Posisinya, alah ini mana mungkin sih secepat itu, saya ada waktu lah, it's fine lah. So it was a domino effect shock for everyone.
Yeah.
Because the only ones who know are just my co-founder,
Family.
my family, even my C-suite didn't know, and my two main investor.
Wow.
So no one else know.
You mentioned about, no political agenda and running a company with people that you believe, investors that I believe have great relationships with you. How did you I'm trying to pick the right words here because I'm talking to a vice ministress.
Langsung aja.
How do you deal with difficult personalities in the office gitu, when you first came in?
Here,
Yeah.
these guys? You should ask them.
Maybe under them, atau maybe
No, for me,
that are so far away from you, if you get what I mean.
yes, I don't believe in positions. Even in my previous companies, Standard Chartered was the first company that I went into.
I heard.
And Standard Chartered Bank taught me this, the leadership. I came in as a management trainee. But until today,
Did you? You came in as a management trainee?
came in as a management trainee, international graduates at that time. But I have great relationships with the CEOs, with all the head of OCC, treasuries, and you name it. These leaders taught me how to be humble and how to treat people as humans, regardless of positions.
Got it.
And that, I think, set the foundations of every single thing that I do in life. Because, and plus, my dad told me this, because I work in banking. And banking, you count a lot of money, like millions. I mean, before government, of course, at that time in private sector, at a very young age, you're counting other people's money. And my dad always remind me this. Remember ya, Rin ya, yang kamu hitung itu adalah duit orang. Jangan ngerasa sombong karena kamu handle duit segini banyak. There's a mandate behind it. So, make sure integrity hatinya dijaga dan jangan pernah sombong no matter how high or how low you go.
Wow.
And that was the guiding principles in my life. So when I first came here, I didn't understand what is deputy, dirjen, eselon, like I don't know any of this, right? And banyak banget singkatan-singkatannya yang I have no clue. So I asked them actually, can you make me a little dictionary and so I can look it up? So it's easier for me.
Funny enough, sorry to cut you. That was my first job as a journalist.
Dictionary.
Yeah, so I used to be a journalist. Terus the US wanted to know what the hell is dirjen, what the hell is this
Tuh
and that.
kan?
So what
Do you
I
still have
did,
it?
I need to check. But I that was my first job for 3 days. Like, what's the abbreviation of this? Wait, you don't have this in the US, so I have to explain again. But I get what you mean. Anyway, carry
You
on.
can imagine kan, itu
Yeah.
masuk-masuk udah nggak tahu bahasanya. So holding on that guiding principles, just talk to every single person as a human and ask them what's the difficulties. And my biggest problems with ASN is they just say yes and siap kan.
Nah, So how do you inspire those principals to yes and siap?
Corner them, make them talk.
Interesting.
And ask them a yes or no question. I say, I want to hear your voice because your voice is worthy to be heard. I want to hear your thoughts. And until they tell me, I don't let them go. One by one.
Must be a difficult week.
Months.
Months.
But I look at it like I think in one of the podcasts, people ask me, right, what is your greatest achievement? The team. My little Aswa men's team, the little women's team. Because now they can make their own decisions. Now they don't need my arahan. Now they just, siapnya masih ada ya. Tapi mereka udah bisa bilang, siap, cuman menurut ada satu yang ngomongnya, in my very humble opinion, I say, okay, you just wasted 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Get down to it.
Get to the topic now.
Get to the topic kan. Itu udah mulai terbiasa kayak gitu.
Although Fawaz looks tired all the time ya, Bu.
Oh, he is always like this because he aged like
fine wine. So
he's not yet.
I've seen a few of the things that you do. Obviously, we have them on the table. Dan juga 17 subsectors of. Tapi I want to get to what you did recently gitu. Ketika ulang tahun RI yang ke-80 gitu. 17 Agustus. For what I know, that was a quick decision of kita ada PR ini nih, kita harus lakuin gitu, and it happened. So apparently we can do things quickly now.
Oh, we can.
And I heard that was your first your first job gitu, ada satu hal yang dilakuin di Soekarno-Hatta ya. You did it in a week. Was it correct?
That was last year.
That was last year.
That was last year. It was a game corner initiatives that one is something that I've always wanted to do because as a citizen of Indonesia who pass by the airport almost every single week, I'll be looking at a very sad looking corner, right? And someone in the gaming sector, I'm like, why don't we just have an Indonesian games right here? And the setup, and also I had it in my mind. So one of the first things that I wanted to do to come here is sowan ke Angkasa Pura kan, and try to see how to beautify the space. And then you asked me about communications, and I love the Angkasa Pura guys and in Journey guys. It will be wrong for me to impose and assume that they know anything about games. Airports for sure, dia the expert kan. Jadi dari sana itu try to learn their language and understand what is it that they're trying to achieve. The best airport awards will be given if you have all these facilities. Example will be Dubai, Singapore, right? Korea. Everyone is chasing after that.
That's how you communicated to them?
Yeah. So when you speak their language and it becomes an aligned goals for both of us, right? And so signing of MOUs, Christmas is coming, peak season, let's do it on the 24th.
So it's interesting that things can actually be done very quickly now gitu. And congratulations on ulang tahun RI gitu. That was the carnival, everybody had fun gitu. Although seeing Sri Mulyani on top of money is a bit weird, cuman.
Itu kan kementerian. But it's not only aircraft, it's not only us kan. Itu gotong royong dari semuanya sih.
But I heard you were assigned, no?
I was assigned to coordinate, but without everyone's support, it's not going to happen, right?
Of course.
So we have Monas, and then we have carnivals, we have drones, right? And then we have 10 titik yang di luar. Monas, it was collaborations with Kementerian Pariwisata juga ada, Mensesnek juga ada di sana, Kementerian BUMN juga ada. Karnaval itu kita yang ngerjain, tapi Karnaval kan itu juga koordinasi dengan all the ministries.
Of course.
Without all the ministry support, then it will be very difficult kan, karena kan itu kita juga minta IP masuk kan. Jadi for the first time ever, Indonesia celebrates with local IPs, and I also make it a requirement that everybody also have to wear local brands. On top, and we come up with a list. These are the shoes, no excuses ya. These are the shoes, these are the brands that you can have gitu loh. Dan aku juga perlu apresiasi ke Kementerian PU itu yang langsung bikin sepatu khusus untuk PU dengan local brands. Jadi itu for me inilah kekuatannya Indonesia kalau kita bersatu gitu loh, gotong royong. We really can do it gitu loh.
Wow.
And for me it really touches me deeply when I remember I texted in one man's group, guys, I need help, SOS.
wait a minute. Let's go there. There's a group for women?
We do have groups.
Really?
Coordinations kan. Nanti lebih mudah di sana.
Oh, who speaks most?
Oh, you don't want to know. Depends on what time of the day, but we coordinate there, and that's why we become pretty close gitu loh. So there's a women's group where we just put in there, guys, I really need help, guys. Apa? Carnival? What? Then I brief them there so that it's easier kan. Jadi Coordination is there.
Do you guys talk about the president there? Karena kayak ngomongin bos gitu enggak?
Enggak, ngomongin lah. In the end of the day, we're humans kan. Jadi kita ngomongin bosnya kita juga, ngomongin semuanya. But in the spirit of coordinations, in the spirit of gotong royong.
Of course.
Itu yang penting.
Saya penasaran, batas seorang wakil menteri itu ada di mana sih?
Wah, gimana ya jelasin ya?
Decision you get to decide. Yes or no, obviously kan.
Correct, but of course we have to coordinate with the minister.
Betul.
Kan. Itu kan yang paling tinggi.
Policy making?
Policy making?
Yeah.
We will work together with them.
Okay.
Jadi kenapa with the minister? Kenapa? Karena kan Ekraf ini adalah I pride myself in being a subject matter expert. The ministry, not me, right? Being a subject matter expert. If we talk about one of the industry, the games, for example, or movies industry, it involves many other ministries, right?
Betul.
Now, by us being quote-unquote subject matter expert, what we want to do is we draw out all the ecosystem end to end, because I do not want to come up with a policy that's half-baked, right?
True.
And we want to make sure that it's a true harmony lah ya, within all the inter-ministries. So once the ecosystem is set up, then we'll talk to the minister as well together and all the relevant deputies. Ini kita harus lawan ke kementerian ini nih, ke kementerian ini nih, ke kementerian ini nih. Angle-nya dari sini. Yuk, kita gerak bareng.
Sama di beberapa negara seperti itu juga.
Negara lain, I'm not sure ya, because it's my first time being a government, so I do not know. But I'm proud to say that when we talk to the ASEAN Secretariat, the only country in ASEAN that does hexahelix approach that involves not only within the government but other parties, including media's community and so on and so forth, is Indonesia. In fact, the ASEAN Secretariat actually want to come to Indonesia to learn from us on how we do it.
Wow.
Because other countries have never done it. That's one. And then when it comes to economy creative, believe it or not, I can't say which country because prior to this role, I actually did help some government in other subjects lah. Again, in very, very technical stuff. They actually told me this, lu mah enak Rin di Indonesia, ya orang kreatifnya banyak. Di kita we have to fabricate it gitu, karena kita nggak punya orangnya. Dan kamu barangnya sudah ada, tinggal di bus. I said, yeah, bro, but I have another problem.
Want to talk about it? You know?
Exactly. Jadi it's always kan the grass on the other side is always greener kan. But there's always challenges. But I feel that Indonesia's positioning right now, despite of what's happening in the world, is really good when it comes to setting foundations, especially in the creative economy. When all the rest of the ASEAN countries might not be fully awakened yet on the true potentials of what we have.
Yeah. Dan I can see bahwa I come from a arts background gitu, and being appreciated in that sector is something else gitu. I used to say there's a word saying when I was in university, kalau kuliah seni itu antara jadi gembel atau jadi sukses banget gitu. Sekarang tuh ada middle ground-nya menjadi oke lah gitu. I think melihat karya-karya sekarang gitu is one of your job to elevate it so that they can earn more gitu. Itu because I see that a lot from your page gitu, from your Instagram and everything. You talk to these artists, to these designers. Itu menjadi salah satu tugas seorang wamen atau bukan?
Tugasnya kita kalau di Ekraf dan bukan hanya wamen tapi seluruh jajarannya kita kan ada produksi, ada banyak ya untuk skala untuk tahap-tahapannya. For us, we focus very much on distributions and marketing. Right. Distribution and marketing, it means how do we promote something that's ready. Kenapa begitu? Karena banyak banget yang sudah ready. Contoh, I'm sure you haven't heard about this guys. This is Kilo.
Yeah, educate me.
These guys are from, this is a paintbrush by the way, hand paintbrush.
Is it? Wow.
Yes. Dan ini dari Garut. And this guys, he is seniman, very creative. And this is not the only products that they have. They also have pentil ban ya. Dan pentil bannya itu aku udah pakai berapa bulan itu masih shining gitu.
Wow.
Berarti hand brushnya kan bagus. Yeah. Orang dari Singapura, Malaysia goes all the way to Garut to learn it from him. To pay a few hundred millions just to learn from him. And yet everyone that I show this to do not know this.
Do not know them.
Right? And then second thing is this guy. This is Arkif. The one on top here, ini adalah Ultra Milk.
Oh wow.
So Ultra Milk with Arkif, it becomes an artwork, right? There's only 300 pieces of this and it's already sold out. My point is this, dengan perpaduan FMCG dengan art is something that's doable. Yeah, there's some things that can translate into economic perputaran.
Of course.
Ya toh. Ini kita ngelihat dengan Archive, tapi Ultramilk sendiri mereka kerjasama dengan Ultracore, Ultraman kan, menjadi Ultra Cow. Di sana penjualan dari Ultramilk itu it's surged due to the collaborations. So if we look around, the IP economy is now starting to happen in ASEAN. Right now, the question is it a local IP or is it a foreign IP? The problems that I notice is that tak kenal maka tak sayang. Banyak banget kok yang mau banget kerjasama dengan local IPs, tapi nggak tahu nyarinya kemana. And that is why yang nyarinya ke Aircraft Hunt.
Oh, that's right.
Karena
it's your Yellow Pages, right?
It's our Yellow
I heard,
Pages. Yes. So it's cikal bakalnya Yellow Pages. Sekarang kita minta ayo semua yang ngisi live data ya guys ya. Karena kalau datanya nggak diupdate tuh stale gitu tuh. I understand the principle of big data. So I'm not into collecting data that are stale, and if you don't update it then we'll drop it off. But of course we need to give benefits to it. What benefits do we give? Updates in terms of kalau ada regulation changes, kalau kita perlu ada FGD untuk kita undang supaya suara kedengaran, kalau ada tempat-tempat yang bisa dipakai for free, ada collaboration opportunities, IP matchmaking, we will go there and look for them there. If they can't even register to Aircraft Hunt, then nggak bisa ajak lari.
Iya, betul.
And I need things fast kan. Because the thing is, I'm a matchmaker. No? So if the other side udah mau, then sometimes it's a private sector or other governments or other yang international companies, when they want, aku harus cari musuhnya cepet nih, which is dari industri. Jadi we need to be fast in taking the opportunities and kawinin, because my personal goal is to mengkawinkan sebanyak-banyaknya supaya
bisa hidup sendiri dan memutarkan ekonomi.
Sendiri. Dan ini jadinya ilmu dibayar ilmu. Udah dikawinin sekali, nextnya lu jadi mak comblangnya ya, please ya.
Iya, udah nggak butuh airinnya lagi, ibaratnya gitu kan.
Betul. Then I can retire. Jadi ini kan empowering people, jadi cycle-nya berputar. Because we have 280 million people. And there's only one Kementerian Ekonomi Kreatif with our team, pasti keterbatasannya ada. Bukan hanya Irene Umar. Irene Umar is just a drop, a speck of dust.
Iya, tapi the fact that Irene Umar can be there in the meeting, I think that would be an extra yes gitu. You get what I mean? If you weren't there a few weeks ago, Bu, kayak it'd be me and
a part of our job is to make sure kita mengawal sampai selesai, right? When you this is one of the things that one of my mentors say. When you when you start something, finish it well.
Yeah. I agree. Of course I agree gitu. Cuman it's kan pertemuan pertama beda dengan pertemuan ke-12 ya mungkin gitu loh, Bu. Maksudnya terkadang dipersulit ketika kayak udah mendalam gitu. How do you manage that doesn't happen?
Oh, I go deep from day one.
Oh wow, amazing.
I go deep and I ask. I guess this is why a lot of people in corporate world in Indonesia will call me, I'm sorry, a corporate bitch. Because I'm very direct and I'll just ask, what's the issues gitu loh, maunya gimana? Karena Indonesia what I notice is like to beat around the bush ya. Dan nggak enakan kan. Oh, aku pengennya Z, tapi saya nggak mau ngomongnya Z, saya maunya muter gitu kan. And I think after years of dealing with not only Indonesian but Asians in general, then you got like, and I'll just ask, sebenarnya maunya ini kan? Iya, oke.
Let's make it happen.
Just speak it up gitu toh. Jadi yang ada biasanya kalau mau kawinin, I'll just ask, maunya apa sih ini? Because I'm not technical person as well, right? I'm not very deep lah as compared to you in podcast definitely, and whatever industry that you are in, right? For example, if you're into movies, I wouldn't understand the deep technicalities which is needed because the devil is in the detail.
Of course.
Right? Then I'll be asking in a close group, okay, lu nggak mau ngomong di depan, tell me, can you trust me? You tell me, if you are not making sense, I will tell you off, gitu kan, in a close group. On the other side, I'll ask the other parties, what do you want? If both sides really make sense, when the meeting happens, udah langsung kawin.
So if
then my job is done, then I can move on.
And then move on to a different case, and then move on to a different case.
And hopefully with that, kan teman-teman ikut nih.
Mereka yang lanjutin.
Nanti mereka ngelanjutin, mereka bisa ngikutin close dan they can initiate now.
That's why he doesn't have enough sleep.
And you guys happy?
Okay, so run me through berarti Bu. Komunitas, negara, private sector, swasta,
media,
akademisi, media gitu. Ketika ingin berkolaborasi, when they listen to this podcast, oh I can do that gitu. Oh I can earn more money from this IP gitu. Where do they run to?
What do you mean, where do they run to?
Where do they find more information how to actually collaborate it in between gitu mereka?
Aircraft.go.id. Itu ada han.aircraft.go.id. Kalau agak pelan, mohon maaf ya, kita lagi fixing itu. It's the first iterations. We don't use any budget APBN at all. Kalau ditanya ini bikin ini berapa? Zero. Right? Ada yang problem.
I also asked, this is not APBN by the way. These are collaboration. Your ministry is quite poor. That's what I heard. Jadi,
right? We are. But here, I've been in startup for a long time. And money is money lah. We can find it lah. When you need it, it's definitely going to be there, right? But what's most valuable? If anyone is listening, you asked me to go back to that question.
Yes,
right? If anyone is listening, what's most important is you want information, go to aircraft.go.id. If you can't find it, ada han.aircraft.go.id or just DM us, right? We have also a quote unquote PPID, Customer Service Department lah, intinya. Nah itu bisa dihubungin juga, you'll be guided through it, or just DM me. Right, as much as possible, I'll go through it. Sorry it's a bit slow, but we try our best to push it out as much as we can. Nah, jadi kita bisa tunjukin ini kemana. Nah, kalau yang ditanyakan adalah tadi apa tadinya?
Akses dan sistem kolaborasi.
Sistem kolaborasi, basically teaching people how to speak bahasa Indonesia to bahasa Indonesia because different subsectors they speak different language apparently, right? Tapi setelah beberapa kali udah jalan sih. Nah, kalau ditanyakan apa sih yang bisa dilakukan dari masing-masing ya, dari akademisi, ajakan aku adalah yuk kita bareng-bareng bikin kajian sebanyak-banyaknya mengenai ekonomi kreatif supaya itu bisa jadi landasan aku untuk menjadikan ini regulasi. Daripada and we have like sample size, we have bahan-bahan yang misalnya dibutuhkan untuk melakukan kajian atau research. Right, let's do a deep research on this. Other research that's needed is that we need to switch our mindset kan, di mana we are pelayanan publik gitu kan. Namanya pejabat tapi we are actually serving the nations, right? In order to serve the nations, one of the things that we are entrusted with is budget, right? When it comes to budget, no matter how big or small it is, every cent that we spend has to be accounted for. Every cent that we invest on behalf of the people, for me, I would want to see perputaran ekonomi berapa kali. Now I need help to make sure that I can count this fast.
Of course.
Right. And do we have it? We have it. But can we make it more efficient? Let's innovate around here. Now academics, please, let's do this together. Gitu loh. Karena to prove that economic creative is an engine of growth, I'm a data-based person, right?
Yeah.
Data collection methodology, calculation methodology, and it has to be live as much as we could.
Of course.
Otherwise, it's stale. No, so this is what I'm trying to put together.
That's probably your most difficult job, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, kan? Because I don't want
one of the most difficult job.
Iyalah, apalagi dengan nama ekonomi di depan kan agak beban deh. So I'm assuming it's this way, Bu. Collaborate, make sure it makes some money agar ada perputarannya. Kalau dia rugi, dihitungnya kementeriannya tidak berhasil.
Kalau itu rugi, berarti ini program nggak berhasil. Kita harus ganti program dong. Karena kan karena kan program kementerian banyak.
Betul.
Kalau nggak semua program kementerian works kan. Let's be a startup lah. Let's be real. When it comes to startup, ada kan yang it doesn't work, we can iterate on it so that it works. Gojek aja itu versi berapa gitu loh. Nah, we have to be able to measure this. And from every deputy and directors, I'll ask them, measure it for me. Apalagi sekarang anggaran kecil. Then I have an access to push kan.
Iya. Dan kalau misalnya rugi pun bisa dibilang bahwa itu merugikan negara dan kasusnya bisa
kemana-mana.
Bisa
Tapi
kemana-mana.
kita harus bisa mempertanggungjawabkan. Kenapa kita mau melakukan hal ini? Pasti ada landasannya, bukan I dream of it last night and I want to do it gitu loh.
Yeah, it's not an impulsive decision. No.
Correct. And then there are a couple of measuring points kan. Economic value creation, that's one. Second is how many employments is being created there.
Understand.
So these two will be the drivers for me. Karena kita ada ditargetin nih, in the end of 5 years, contributions dari ekonomi kreatif ke ekonomi Indonesia 8%.
On top of your anggaran? Gimana 8%? Oh, 8% dari full?
8% kontribusi.
Kontribusi, iya.
Kontribusinya kita.
Oh, wow.
Jadi, I have to make sure that this is, jadi Google Map aja kita harus tahu kan, final destination-nya ke sana, plotnya ke sana gimana. That's why right now, immediately, my minister is pretty good. Dari awal kita langsung ngobrol dengan BPS sama Bappenas karena kan itu Badan Pusat Statistik yang menghitung kan, dan they are very open and collaborative, and right now we want to make sure as a new ministry we don't have enough KBLI lah ya, well defined. Ekonomi kreatif definisinya apa, setiap subsektor itu definisinya apa, flows-nya apa-apa aja. And we are working with Bappenas and BPS to make sure that this is in place. Imagine ya, 17 subsectors, within each subsectors itu udah banyak banget. Right?
Of course, yeah.
So drilling them down one by one to make sure that all the inputs and data will be synchronized.
Yeah.
So that is the most difficult foundations. But having said that, we need a work-life balance, right? So that one is the boring part, but it's very fundamental.
But that's really important.
And so I have the game corner as my life.
That's the fun part. Tapi investing in arts, it's quite difficult to count on, dong Bu. I mean, you never know what happened to Jumbo gitu. If we knew it was going to be that blast, then you would put some. I mean, the country would put some money in that IP gitu.
We found out about Jumbo itu, to be fair, I think 2 months, 45 days more or less ya, before the launch, right? It was because itu di awal-awal banget kan, pas kementerian terbentuk. Dan waktu itu kita lagi nobar, diundang sama Visinema untuk nonton Ambyar Makbyar. Waktu itu. Jadi pas nonton Ambyar Makbyar, kelewatlah si Jumbo trailernya. We're like, hang on, what is that?
Yeah.
Di sana baru kita ngobrol tentang kesulitannya ada di mana. What is it that we could help, right? So, and Visinema is really good. They're very open and they know exactly what they want to do. It's just that they don't have bulldozer untuk ngebukain akses lah. Kira-kira begitu kan. At that time, what we suggested was to bandara, right?
Oh,
and then
I see.
You can't just pick up a customer service and say, I want to speak to so-and-so. You don't even know who to speak to, kan?
Yeah.
Jadi, dengan kita hubungan sangat dekat with in journeys, itu we ask them, it will be nice loh if you can collaborate, right? Dan di sana itu ngelihatnya kan win-win, right? And I always create something that's win-win. And I always tell both private sector, other ministry, if it doesn't make sense for you, please say no to me, right?
But explain to me why.
But don't explain to each other why. Jadi ini kayak pitching sessions gitu. Jadi demand and supply needs to be created properly. Gitu. And for me, I'll just listen on the sides and then I learn.
Yeah.
Karena yang ditolak itu harus tahu kenapa ditolak.
Yeah, of course. You're like the biggest mak comblang in the country.
That's my main job, mak comblang sama translator bahasa Indo ke bahasa Indo. That's it. Gitu.
Of course.
Jadi pas waktu case Jumbo itu kita cuman basically IP matchmaking lah, matchmaking ke mereka ke sebanyak-banyaknya. Dan Jumbo rajin banget, semuanya di follow up sama mereka. Yeah. Jadi when it comes to the day of launch itself, I think it's really based on their hard work gitu loh. Every single doors that we open, they go all out on it.
Wow. Ada
yang ditolak nggak sih? I'm sure ada gitu toh. Pasti ada karena kan kalau commercial deals nggak cocok ya.
Yeah.
Please do not, please guys, do not just because I say so then you say yes gitu loh kan. You guys are not ASN, even ASN aja nggak boleh gitu.
That's a good point.
Jangan langsung karena commercial deals have to make sense. Kalau misalnya any deals itu nggak win-win, it's not gonna be long lasting. Yes, you do it once. Capek kok jadi mak comblangnya, want to mak comblang once and then it be eternal kan.
Yeah.
Till death do us part gitu.
Yeah, I agree. How do you inspire? How do you plan on inspiring many people in creating thing like Jumbo gitu?
For ini kan ada satu nih animations yang baru.
Coming soon ya?
Coming soon. Kalau animator Indonesia itu sebenarnya banyak ya di banyak daerah. Mereka ada beberapa kesulitan yang sekarang right now we are trying to iron out despite of our budget, right? Being in startup often enough, we always say ada budget nggak budget, bulldoze dulu lah ya, ntar baru cari gitu loh. Yang penting dampaknya, impactnya ada. Jadi untuk yang animasi, talent pools-nya itu kita petain, kemudian we always tell them gitu, make it simple. Kalau misalnya terlalu ribet, itu message-nya itu harus simple enough so that anyone can grasp it, right? And so animations, I'm pretty excited because I think Indonesia is on that trajectory lah ya.
Interesting, yeah.
And I'm excited to see more that's coming up, and quality-nya must be there lah.
Yeah, well, quality-wise, we see how amazing Jumbo was. What are the sexiest sectors right now at the moment that we can?
Everyone asks me this question, but I cannot answer which one. It's like asking me which one is my favorite child kan, out of all the 17.
Well, I know you're such a gamer. Okay? Let's not mention that. Okay? We know your background. It's like asking you what's your favorite bank.
Enggak lah.
What's the most potential sector that can?
Gini, kita akan mempertahankan 3 subsektor kita yang terkuat, which is kuliner, kriya, sama fashion, right? Karena ini adalah kontribusi terbesar dari 17 subsektor yang ada. But they are Jadi ini yang mature kan, and then you have the potential upcoming kayak incubating babies kan. The babies that are being incubated for me, I feel IPs is one of them kan. Content creations is another one.
Content creating is in there?
Digital assets is there.
Oh wow.
Jadi under digital, bukan digital assets ya, under digital content. Under digital content itu ada content creator, including VTuber. VTuber is virtual tuber. Whereby I think we still dominate 50% of Indonesian market. Another 50% is with the Japanese guys because they've been around for longer. And then YouTuber is definitely one of them. And then digital assets creations. Like if you create something in Roblox, you create something in Unity, you create something then in Fortnite, then that falls under digital assets, right? So I think that has a lot of potentials there.
Obviously.
You know my background. It's not only games, but anything digital. I feel that's the future, right? And what else? So games, digital contents, movies. We are actually ready to go global. One thing that's maybe I like this is musicals. Yeah, musicals and music. Musicals sendiri, I never thought that Indonesian musicals is up there.
Oh, it is, but I've always enjoyed it. The quality is amazing. Yeah.
It's world class. So ini agak biased dikit because every time I look at musicals, I will have tears in my eyes because I can feel their passion and their heart gitu loh. And I know the crew is big.
Yeah.
And so it's very difficult to maneuver, but the world needs to see what Indonesian musical has in store. And our IPs is there. So I really hope to push this my incubations gang, including IPs and all are here, while we continue to strengthen this part. Now, this part thingy, I want to deep dive on fashion, for example. Fashion itu apa sih? One of the things under fashion is Muslim fashion, modest fashion. Indonesia is one of the largest population in the world. We are a trendsetter right now. I mean, we're pretty trendy people, right? When it comes to fashionable stuffs. And
you especially as a vice minister.
Thank you.
I've never seen you with a batik.
I do have
I know, I see you. But most of the time
it's batik.
Yeah, most of the time it's the jacket and everything. So trendy. Anyway.
Have to represent.
Yeah.
By the way, batik Free Fire is going to launch their batik
Are they?
this month.
Wow, interesting.
So it has to be cool and keren lah. Tapi balik lagi ke sana, kalau yang fashion itu karena Indonesia itu one of the Muslim population yang paling tinggi, trendsetter. Now we just have to make sure that we go global and we are loud enough. Karena Indonesians itu can be very humble gitu loh. Aduh, enggak lah, masa sih udah mendunia? Udah bro, let's go.
I have a different opinion, Bu, if I may. Maksudnya sebagai warga aja ya, kita ngedumel ke Wakil Menteri ya.
Udah biasa sih tiap hari.
Tapi warga, I believe, you're right gitu, warga Indonesia tuh humble terhadap apa yang mereka miliki. Tapi our sense of belonging,
that's a different matter.
Yeah, it's so strong. And you know, I know you know where I'm coming with this.
I don't know, coba elaborate.
Misal,
pemirsa mungkin ada yang nggak tahu.
Misal soal makanan gitu.
Yeah.
We talk about food, and Pad Thai was never a Thai food. It was never made by Thai people. It was customized for the taste of people around the world gitu. Dan memang harus ada hal-hal seperti itu gitu. Kita ketika bikin nasi goreng salah dikit aja kan warga langsung bilang, oh nggak autentik, itu nggak gitu caranya. Dan pada akhirnya ya these giants yang akan buka sendiri di luar negeri gitu. Martabak Pecenongan lah, Kopi Kenangan, which are amazing, they're doing a great job gitu. Tapi kan harusnya sebagai negara bisa melakukan itu, mengcustomize sesuatu untuk global state gitu. Whether a global audience.
Bukan negara
gitu.
lah, private sector lah. Kalau negara jadi negara dagang.
Iya, true. Berkolaborasi dengan negara, kan Ibu bilang nggak bisa ada akses kan, jadi harus diperkenalkan. Nah, how do you manage to have people's expectation untuk kayak, this is one way of doing it. Calm down, chill gitu.
Jadi gini, kalau
itu baru makanan, gimana baju, Bu?
Itu buat aku itu kadang ego sih, kan. Jadi we are all humans, we have our own egos. Tapi untuk mau maju, drop the ego aside and focus on the goals lah.
Nah, how do you say that to the warga?
Oh, I just say it out loud. Anyone who comes to this office, they know that I'll say things as it is. Probably not on the screen because I will be roasted, right?
Yeah.
But I think pertama, understand why they do what they do, right? I mean, being very protective, that's one thing. Our family is also very protective. Let's go back to our little small family aja lah, nuclear kan. Nah itu mereka protektif banget ke kita karena kenapa? Terlalu sayang kan. That's one. Second adalah they don't know what they don't know. Our parents do not know what we want, and what they do is buat kita mengekang, buat mereka protective, because they don't know what's gonna happen. So if you have that mindset, right? If you understand why they do what they do, what can be done then?
Yeah.
Open up the Johari window. This is the possibilities.
Yeah.
And when it comes to most humans, the easiest language is show them the economic values.
The proof.
Show them the proof, economic values. Show them the pride of this is what would happen. Karena pada saat sukses, everybody will own a piece of it.
Yeah.
Right?
Everybody's gonna claim it.
Correct. Everybody will claim it, and it's okay because why? We want something to be proud of. Gitu loh. If there's nothing that we are proud of, especially overseas, yeah. Whenever I go to meet diaspora Indonesia and I bring them this stuff, they're like, "Oh my God, Indonesia is so cool already." And the pride is there, and the longingness of coming back to Indonesia is there. Would you rather have people who do not care, or would you have people who care tapi bawel gitu loh?
Yeah.
Ya same as our parents lah. I always go back to my parents. My parents, sorry ya mom and dad, mereka bawel gitu loh. Tapi waktu kecil itu sebel banget. But sekarang apa kira-kira? Ya udahlah ya. Kalau misalnya masih bisa disebelin, artinya masih care. Kalau sampai disebelin aja kagak, itu artinya udah don't care.
Yeah, I agree. So
With that, melatih patience.
Yeah, of course, especially for you. What's the end goal now for Aircraft?
For me, 5 years,
Yeah.
set a proper foundations in terms of regulations. Iron out whatever that needs to be ironed out.
Well, I'm sorry for laughing, but we've been alive for 80 years, Bu. And now you're talking about foundation. Where have we been?
Foundation of ekonomi kreatif. Ekonomi kreatif kan baru 333 hari.
Iya sih, Bu. Oke.
Ya kan? Fondasi dari kita, dari government, kementerian itu, please pray for me. Please pray for all of us. We are really, not only myself, but every single person in Aircraft, we are really pushing very hard. Including the cabinet, we are really pushing hard.
Yeah.
Karena banyak banget yang harus yang perintilannya harus benerin gitu loh kan. Jadi, just pray for us. Give us your blessing.
Of course.
So we are doing our best in setting up their foundations, because for me, what I want, Indonesia is the pioneer and also the front runner untuk kreatif ekonomi. Kalau di seluruh dunia, bapaknya itu adalah United Kingdom. ASEAN, I want to claim it.
Wow.
And we have it gitu loh. We have all the bullets, semuanya cuman harus koordinasi jadi satu. Jangan berantem ya antara yang misalnya nih asosiasi satu sama asosiasi lain. Udahlah.
Itu sering banget, Bu, apalagi di perfilman. Don't get me started.
Oh dear, how many hours is gonna?
No.
Ini,
But you know, you get what I mean.
For me, karena kan kita itu yang namanya, because I'm also an aircraft person kan, seniman juga kan, cuman yang udah berumur jadi udah kayak gitulah. Tapi ideologinya I understand gitu loh. Tapi ini for the greater good of the nations gitu loh guys, right? Ayolah set aside the ego, ngobrol, maunya kemana supaya bisa maju. Kalau ini maju, semuanya prosper kok. Trust me, semuanya prosper.
Yeah.
Soalnya saya susah kalau misalnya nanti dibilang keberpihakan, nanti hangoutnya lebih sering sama yang ini, dibilangnya nanti I have to be neutral and I'm a human guys, right? So akur set the roadmap ke sana. Ada hiccups nggak apa-apa karena in the end of the day we're humans. Let's snowball towards that area. Jadi kita bisa fokus, jangan fokus kantong aku, kantong kamu, kita sama-sama orang Indo. Fokus kantong luar.
Wow, what a job. What's the best part and worst part about doing this?
The best part of my job is meeting people in the industry that really have the passion and the heart. Because it's very difficult to find people who are genuine. I was a banker. It's difficult to find. So that's why I fall in love with this, right? Then people that have the heart, it's very warming.
Yeah, of course.
Anything that's passion driven. And then I ask them, how do you drive your economy of it? That's when I will slip in financial planning 101. Itu all of those will be masuk. Karena kalau enggak, susah masuknya kan. The worst part of the job, bureaucracy.
You want to start going there?
No. You ask one word.
Bureaucracy.
Karena I understand why. Ini kayak kalau di perbankan itu compliance kan. That's why I was not in compliance gitu. Tapi I understand kenapa compliance itu dibutuhkan. Karena in a bank we are dealing with public's money. So every single cent needs to be accounted for and all regulations needs to be there. Kalau nggak kena fine kan from a commercial perspective. Nah, in a country level kehati-hatian itu perlu di heighten lagi. My background is business and investor. I'm a risk taker.
Yeah.
So now I have to pull my horses and learn to Rin, whatever you say, whatever you do, it might impact 280 million people or more. So, set aside your ego, set aside what you have in mind. It's not about you, it's about the people.
My last question, Bu,
Yes.
relates to what you said.
Oh dear.
Bukan other interviews, recent, tadi barusan. Bahwa you have to think of 280 million people, whatever you say.
Makanya eye bag-nya udah langsung hitam terus.
Oh, saya nggak kerja buat pemerintahnya udah hitam, Bu.
Mau ikutan? Yuk.
Enggak, no. Knock on wood.
Never say no, ya?
Yeah, I know. Knock on wood.
I used to say no also. Now I'm here.
What was I gonna say? Oh, okay. Belakangan ini, it's not the best few months for this country. Gitu.
It's not.
Banyak sekali omongan dari orang-orang yang bekerja untuk pemerintah, untuk negara, ucapannya lumayan unik gitu, Bu.
Langitnya biru banget ya.
You said earlier bahwa di Hambalang ada training PR.
Ada.
Cara bicara dengan media, cara bicara ke masyarakat. Nampaknya tidak berguna kalau kita lihat dari sebulan terakhir gitu.
Ini kan
omongan.
wakil menteri kan.
Betul.
Kita barengnya kan wakil menteri.
Iya. Mungkin teman-teman legislatif tidak dapat PR itu. Gitu. Tapi apakah sebetulnya ada, Bu, PR yang bisa maksudnya saya minimal, saya bukan siapa-siapa gitu, tapi saya aja sebelum nge-tweet,
siapa-siapa.
ya maksudnya sebelum
Semuanya
nge-tweet
pada
sesuatu
kenal.
yang agak kontroversial, pasti saya nanya gitu ke tim saya, is this right, is this wrong gitu. Ada anggota legislatif yang bilang, ya kita mah tergantung atasan. Itu kan didengarnya sama masyarakat kayak, lah? Kayak ada beberapa hal yang menurut saya agak dungu gitu, Bu.
Mungkin gini, kalau setiap kelas, kalau kita ke sekolah, course-nya kan sama ya. Outputnya muridnya kan beda-beda ya. Right, that's one. Second, tadi saya katakan bahwa one of my job is to translate bahasa Indonesia ke bahasa Indonesia. I am blessed with that ability because why? Bahasa is not my first language.
Yeah.
English is not my first language. Mandarin is not my first language.
What is it?
My first language is Hokkien, dialect. How did I learn all three language? Kena bully duluan, baru belajar gitu loh.
Yeah.
Karena di Jakarta nggak bisa bahasa Indonesia, habislah. Tapi thanks to the bullies, I now can speak bahasa, right? I went to KL, Pak, gara-gara 1998 my house was burned. I have to learn this,
Wow.
right? And then all the other language, because I love food, it's all need basis, right? I love food so much, and the auntie and uncles keep getting my orders wrong. I have to learn, right?
Yeah.
Now and also read between the lines and understand body languages, right? So I've been blessed in my life to be able to learn and decipher codes even when people don't speak, and I've been doing social work for many years as well, and it breaks a lot of belief system that I have. Life has taught me a lot of good things like in the ups and downs. And juga kenalnya bukan hanya orang Indonesia, tapi punya banyak komunikasinya banyak orang gitu loh. And I noticed that, including myself, sometimes miscommunicationsnya itu ada, right? And so every time there's miscommunication, I'll sit down in my little corner and think to myself, even until today, what can I do better, right? And is everyone given that privilege? Probably not gitu loh. But ajakan aku ke semua adalah, let's look at the underlying intentions of why a person does it. Because I never believe there's a single I might be naive here, I'm sorry.
Ibu, you're being...
I don't believe that there's anyone who intentionally want to be a bad, mean person.
Oh yeah, that I believe, yes.
Jadi kalau if we understand where they're coming from, kita kan tujuannya mau Indonesia maju ya.
Yeah.
Udahlah, ajak ngobrol dulu lah. Because age also matters ya, by the way. Jadi ajak ngobrol, duduk bareng. Intention semua orang Indonesia itu sama. Karena pas waktu demo kemarin, itu aku ajak kok beberapa orang ngobrol kan. Intinya demonya sama kan. Ayo, let's come up with something that we could work together on. And let's work towards that. Gitu. Itu cuma perlu ngobrol doang.
Yeah.
That's all that we need to do. And Indonesians are very forgetful and we forgive easily juga kan. Right? And I think that's one of the greatest traits that we have. Tapi at the same time, we also need to be persistent and have that grit.
I have faith for you.
Not to me, for Indonesia, please. Because
Yeah, well,
I'm a speck of dust, my dear. I'm
I
just
know.
a speck of dust.
I know, but well, the rest of the dusts are not doing very well, kan? Jadi I believe
jadi
there's
all
one
of the
dust.
dust we need to bareng-bareng
gather
naik.
and everything. So what are the advice that you have for your colleagues?
My colleagues and I, especially the ladies, we are very close. And in every single conversation that we have is, what can we do? Yeah, what can we collaborate together? Yeah, one, yes, I will admit we want to hang out more, right? But we can't hang out more just to have a meal or to hang out. We don't have that time, right? Yeah. So one of the ways is, yuk collaborate, yuk apa sih yang bisa kita kolaborasikan? And that's always the key message that we always have whenever we talk to each other. Even though when we're waiting for the president in istana kan untuk sidang kabinet, we will always have that conversation constantly. So I know that the intention is there, right? And with a small circle, we try to expand it as much as we can. And whenever we have time, if we don't meet, we WhatsApp and we call each other. Lagi ngapain? Ada nggak sih yang bisa kita kolaborasikan? Aku lagi ada ini loh. So with that, I feel I'm not being that kid who is like in the corner pas ambalang.
Yeah.
I feel embraced even though I don't have any political ties or parties.
Wow. Congratulations and thank you for being here, Bu Erin.
Thank you.
Anything else you want to add?
Not sure about the congratulations part, but thank you.
Well, yeah, congratulations that you've walked from the side of the picture to the middle and like be friends with everyone now. Anything else you want to add?
Seperti quote dari Bu Sri Mulyani, jangan pernah lelah mencintai Indonesia dan tanyakan ke dirimu sendiri sih. Kalau setiap pagi masih mikirin Indonesia mau ke arah mana, ya udahlah, yuk kerja bareng ya.
Erin Umar, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you.
Terima kasih.
Thank you.